What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Breakdown. Sorry about it shaking. I'm holding the phone here. So how about that? Look at that picture right there. I know I want to see that fight. How about y'all? I know y'all want to see it too. I'm not gonna claim to be like a mind reader or nothing, but you guys want to see that fight too. But in this video, I want to call out the YouTube boxing community, the YTBC. It is time for us. It's time for us to step up. Over the last 5 years, we've called out Mayweather. Some of us have called out Mayweather. I personally have called out Pacquiao, and I think that's good. I think like I said, it started with us. It started with the YTBC. It started with people like us, and we pretty much called out these two guys, and now we've gotten both of these guys on film saying they want to fight each other. But wanting to fight each other, I mean, both of these guys, they can't just snap their fingers and say they want to fight each other and it's going to happen. This isn't TV. This isn't a movie. It's a lot more that goes into this. So I think in the YouTube boxing community, we've done well in that aspect. But we have not done well in another aspect. And there's somebody else that we need to call out. We have not put pressure on this guy yet. We have not put pressure. See that name? Bob Arum. We have not put pressure on this guy. And this is the guy that we need to be putting the pressure on, is Bob Arum. That guy right there. We need to be putting the pressure on him. It is time for us as the YouTube boxing community to put pressure on this guy. Not only is Mayweather saying, is this guy holding up the fight, but you've got other guys saying it as well. You've got other guys saying that Bob Arum is holding up this fight. And as the YouTube boxing community over the last 5 years, we have not called out this particular guy enough. And it starts with us. It starts with us. We have to put pressure on Bob Arum because he is the guy that's holding up this fight. We've called out Mayweather. We've called out Pacquiao. Okay? Those guys have at least come to the negotiating table. Well, not necessarily Pacquiao, because he isn't negotiating anything because he doesn't run anything. But Mayweather has at least come to the negotiating table. This guy that you see before you, this is the guy that we have to call out as a community. The YouTube boxing community, Blood Boxing, Carcino, 78 Sports TV, 97 Rough. We have to call these guys out. And I know there's more guys, but the guys I named are the main guys that I pay attention to, and the guys that I've, who I've known to be on YouTube, the longest. We have to call out this particular guy because it starts with us. And we can't let guys like this that I'm fixing to reveal before you, we can't let these guys get away with false reporting. We cannot let guys like this get away with false reporting. This guy right here. This guy right here. It's because of us we haven't, like I said, things start with us. People pay attention to the YouTube boxing community, I believe, more than they do, guys like Dan Raphael. I really believe that. I believe that people pay attention to us, but I think that we have to call out guys like Dan Raphael. This guy right here, we got to call him out because his opinions are so one-sided. He's the boxing guy for ESPN, but I mean, this guy, he doesn't get in the gym and interview anybody. He doesn't do any of that. He just, he basically just, he basically reports off of other people's reports. That's what this guy Dan Raphael does. I had a going back and forth with this guy on Twitter because he's trying to tell me that Mayweather is the one holding up the roadblocks, but now it has actually come out that Bob Arum is the one putting up the roadblocks. And now Dan Raphael will not reply to anything that I have to say because I was right. And the reports that are coming out are that Bob Arum is the one holding things up. Now, the average boxing community does not know this. So that's why it's up to us that we can't let these guys like Dan Raphael get away with this stuff anymore. First of all, like I said, like Carcino said, he doesn't get in the gym and interview boxers one-on-one. I mean, what is he doing? From what I've seen, Dan Raphael, his stories are basically re-reports of other people's stories, people from LA Times or people from Yahoo. That's where Dan Raphael gets his stuff from. From what I've seen, basically off of the latest stories. What sources does he have? People think just because this guy works for ESPN that he is a know-it-all. And obviously he isn't. It's been proven. He doesn't, like I said, I'm gonna say it again, he does not get in the gym and interview anybody. Not like I do either, but hey, I have another job. But this is what this guy's job is. Like I said, I don't see him interviewing. He don't have to interview Pacquiao or Mayweather, but I don't think I've ever seen Dan Raphael interview anybody unless it's like after a fight. But in between fights, like I said, Dan Raphael's not in the gym. He's not interviewing fighters. He's not interviewing promoters. He's not interviewing trainers. Like I said, from ever since I've been really paying attention to Dan Raphael, he reports stories that are somebody else's stories and then puts it up there on ESPN, and then he may add his own little twist to it, and that's it. Just like they asked him, he said he didn't think the Floyd Mayweather thing would happen, and they asked him why, and he said, "Oh, it's just his own personal feelings." Had no evidence to back up why he doesn't think it would happen. I guess a lot of people have personal feelings of why it won't happen or why it may happen. But we can't let this guy get away with this. We have to put pressure on him and people like him so that they will put the pressure on Bob Arum, because we have to, as a community, put pressure on Bob Arum. He is the number one target, and if we don't do it, then the fight may never happen. So we have to put the pressure. Let me go back to it. We have to put the pressure on this guy right here. Have to. Got to put the pressure on this guy right here. Because if we don't do it, and this guy's been known to lie. So I'm calling out 78 Sports, calling out Carcino, calling out Blood Boxing, calling out the entire YouTube boxing community. This guy is not the A side. Mayweather is the A side. So we have to call this guy out, and it starts with us. I believe if we get enough public pressure put on this guy, he'll fold. We have to call out, well, Oscar De La Hoya is not even involved anymore. We have to call this guy out because we want to see the main event. We want to see Pacquiao and Mayweather. And at least Pacquiao has came out on TV and said, hey, I want to fight. Even if he doesn't control anything, I know I criticize Pacquiao a lot, but I will give him credit and saying, hey, I want to fight. And then Floyd has come out and says, I want to fight Pacquiao. Now, like I said, they may not control, Floyd may control a little bit more than Pacquiao, but this guy is the one standing in the middle of it. Floyd gave him $10 million to step out of the way, and he wouldn't do it. This is the guy standing in the middle of everything. Not only has Floyd said it, but Alex Ariza said it. If you go read an article on Fight Hype that just came out this weekend, he's saying that Bob Arum's in the way. Ishe, I think it was Ishii Smith or Ishii, that's in Floyd Mayweather's camp. Now, they may be a little biased, but he was on the Stephen A. Smith show on Mad Dog Radio. He said it. So, I mean, what more do people want? If people keep saying the same thing, then it's up to us to put the pressure on this guy to make it happen. So, YouTube boxing community, I'm calling you guys out. Put the pressure on this guy, or otherwise we boycott. I mean, I hate to do it to Pacquiao, but we have to boycott the rest of Pacquiao's fights. Pacquiao cannot get more than 300,000 buys. They're in a desperate position right now. They need Floyd Mayweather because the last few pay-per-views have not been that great. So we have to boycott anything that is promoted by Bob Arum. Anything promoted by Bob Arum, don't buy no tickets for it. Well, I ain't gonna say don't buy no tickets for it because I mean that's entertainment. You know, you're getting out of the house. But don't watch it on HBO. Anything promoted by Bob Arum, any fighters promoted by Bob Arum, we have to boycott it. So I'm calling you guys out. If we can't, we have to send a message. And even Stephen A. Smith said we as the media have to send a message to Bob Arum that we need to put pressure on him. We haven't done our job on this guy. We've done our job on Mayweather Pacquiao for the last 5 years, you know, destroying them, saying that, you know, one of them scared and all that stuff. We've done our job there. Prime example, we said we wanted to get the fights we wanted. Al Heyman's got the NBC deal. Now we're going to get the fights we wanted. They heard the public. They heard the public. So let's put pressure on this guy to make the fight happen. Because I want to see it. I want to see this. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna go back to that opening picture. But I definitely want to see this fight. And well, I'm out. It's not loading fast enough, but I'm out. Let's put pressure on Bob Arum. All right, YouTube boxing community, let's band up. Let's put pressure on Bob Arum. I'm out.